afternoon. This is Sherry. Welcome to Reiki Master Tarot, presented by 1111 Mind, Body, and Soul Healing, LLC. Happy Sunday. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. I am so very grateful to you. We are continuing our series, the Cosmic Energy Portal Check-In. Now, we did the Mercury retrograde, the equinox, the planetary parade, the crescendo of the cosmic orchestra, okay, and all the things that were going on. And we have more and more sun and CMEs and X-class flares and solar projections is going on. It seems like it just keeps going, happening over and over. And then we have all the volcanoes. Hawaii is underwater. We have a heat dome over the United States. Okay, and then there is that thing that's going on in the Western Middle East. So there is a lot of energy that is moving around the planet right now. If you guys are feeling jagged, go outside, put your feet on the ground, take a nice spirit bath or a nice spirit shower if you feel unease. Okay, because there's a lot of energy that we are integrating. Okay, right now we have the Archangel Twin Flames of the chakras. They are helping us to absorb more and more energy in our cells, in our bodies. Our vessels are absorbing more and more energy. Okay, so if you feel unease or if you feel uncomfortable, spirit bath, go outside, ground yourself on the ground. The best way to do it is to sit on the grass or walk in the grass with no shoes on, or even if it's just, like if it's soft dirt or whatever. But that's the best way to do it, because the energy will go through you to Mother, Father, God. Okay? All right. So what we're talking about today is the shadow. Now, with the twin flames, there was balance that showed up. Okay, with the twin flames. Hold on just a second. Thank you for holding. Okay. So with the shadow, with the twin flames, the number 2, because we had the first one, is Mercury, is the fog finding lifting, because Mercury went direct with all the other things I just talked about. The second in the series was the twin flames inner balance. The equinox brings union, truth, and soul path realignment. Now, to me, that's a loaded title, because with the balance of the twin flames, now the equinox, remember the night and day, it is equal, it's balanced. They're total equality. Now, what brings balance? Are they just finding themselves in balance, or is there something that's going to appear that they're going to take a hard look at and go, okay, why is it triggering me? Okay, so it makes sense. And I did ask the guides, I said, we talked about twin flames coming into union, we talked about balance, but then we had that soul path realignment. Okay, so where do you go from balance to union and now soul path realignment? Are they doing the soul path realignment together, or is there something both of them is doing? There's shadow work that happens that assists with the realignment, with the balance, and with the union. Okay, so this is the third installment, is the shadow speaks, what was hidden demands truth and transformation. So that's what we're doing right now, because with the twin flames, with the soul path correction, okay, there's healing from separation and emotional triggers. There's union energy. There's inner union energy. Remember, we're our own twin first because of the masculine and feminine energy. Thank you. I welcome and acknowledge your presence with infinite unconditional love. So the energy that is coming to us from the cosmic areas, okay, from the cosmos, okay, is bringing truth to the surface. There's almost like a pressure that is coming down from the heavens that's making all these things come to light. Okay, there's a pressure on us. Now remember, for us to become aware and conscious of something, there has to be a contrast. There has to be an energy that causes friction. Okay, the friction puts you to 0 degree that says, I don't like this. And that's when we as humans go and find a solution, a resolution. Okay, we strategize, we categorize, we look at things really, really hard when there is a contrast or friction in our 0 degree. Right now, in our 0 degree, we have a lot of energy that is putting atmospheric pressure on the earth and on us. Okay, so that's what that was. All right, now let's do this. We're going to welcome in the Archangel Twin Flames of the Chakras, Archangel Sandophon, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Charity, Archangel Muriel, Archangel Lavender, Archangel Zachiel, Archangel Amethyst Soul Star, Archangel Chamuel Charity are at the high heart. We're going to welcome in the Archangel of the 7 rays, whose characteristics are power, wisdom, love, peace, truth, abundance, and justice. And then right here, we have Archangel Michael, Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Gabriel is right there, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, and we have Archangel Zachiel right there. And way on the end is my guardian angel, Archangel Axiel, Archangel Raziel. Okay, he's here all the time. And then I have my dragon. We all have a dragon, we all have a unicorn. That is real. So the things that we learned when we were kids and we just, oh, this is so cute. Oh, we learned about rainbows, we learned about colors. We thought dragons and unicorns were mythological creatures. No, they're real. Okay, they vibrate in a different dimension, just like the fairies, and the sacred elementals. Okay, the gnomes, the salamanders, the ondines, the sylphs. Okay, they vibrate at in a different dimension. That is where our consciousness comes in. That's where our awareness comes in, because we become consciously aware that we are not all that is, and everything is not black and white. Okay, so we're going to welcome in right now. Thank you so much to all the universal beings of the highest white light that are the law of one. Thank you to the divine guides, spirit guides, guardian angels, and all of the spirit guides in my decks. We welcome in as well the archangels of the four corners and their twin flames. Archangel Michael, Archangel Faith, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Hope, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Mother Mary, Archangel Uriel, and Archangel Aurora. We welcome and acknowledge the presence of all of the universal beings of the highest white light that are the law of one. We request the presence of the archangels of the four corners and their twin flames to oversee and protect this reading from any and all that do not have our highest good in mind. We welcome and acknowledge each and every one of you with infinite unconditional love throughout all space and time and beyond. To all of my subscribers, thank you so much. To all of the new kids, we got new subscribers, you guys. Let's welcome and acknowledge their presence with infinite unconditional love, as well as all of the subscribers and the folks that stop by my channel to share energy with me. I am so very grateful to share my energy with you. I am grateful to you. You guys are all blessed above your imagination, and your presence here blesses me above mine. I am so very grateful to you for that. So again, we are going to be, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you. So we're going to be talking about the shadow speaks. What was hidden demands truth and transformation. So we are coming upon a timeline, you guys, where we can go to the timeline, but the timeline is, us going to that timeline is dependent on the frequency and how high our frequency is. Spirit is telling us right now, we've been talking about release, surrender, and allow for a very long time, okay? Actually, since I started my journey, I kept hearing, oh, you have to raise your frequency, you change your radio station. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Okay, finally figure it out. Find your joy. Find out what makes you happy. Find out where is your passion. Laughter makes us raise our vibration. When we get a hug and a kiss, it raises our vibration. When we see cute puppies, it raises our vibration. When we talk to our sisters on the phone and we do all the things we did when we were 12 years old, but now we're like of a certain age and we're still acting up. Okay, that raises your vibration because of all the laughter. Okay, we have ways to raise our frequency. It is the things that make you find joy. That's how you raise your frequency. That's how you change the channel. Because when we're in a dimension or we're in a state, let's say vortex of anger because somebody said or did something that caused an imbalance to us, we are now on a specific frequency. How do we change our frequency? By looking at it hard and looking at it and changing our mind. So we had today, there was a situation. A man is standing outside near my car, okay? There's a post of an awning, for an awning that was next to the car. The man was standing there and he was talking on the phone and kept walking back and forth, walking back and forth. Well, you getting into intimate space of something that is very important to me. I don't know who you are, okay? And I kept getting the feeling that he was going to stop walking because he was tired of standing and lean on my car. And I went, oh no, you won't be doing that, okay? So what I did was I got up, and because I was in that vortex, well, you're too close to something that's near and dear to me, okay? I got up and I said, I'm gonna move my car. That's what I did. I went and got my car keys, got in my car, and moved it, okay, away from him. Then he started walking the whole driveway, okay, because it's Sunday, people go to church, so they're not around, the cars aren't here. So he's walking up the whole time because he's on the phone, he's out there cussing, and he's out there talking loud and this and that. But I changed my dimension. Do you see what I mean? I changed my frequency. So that's the action that we take, okay? And that's what I did. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to welcome in the archangels, twin flames of our chakras to give us the essence of the story they wish to tell. Okay, thank you. All right, now you guys look for signs of synchronicities because I'm seeing a lot of them, especially with numbers and things that I say or things that I do, okay, or things that I mention, and then I see a confirmation of what I mentioned in the most oddest place, okay, in the most oddest places, okay, so just know that things are moving really, really fast. There's a lot of energy that is coming down from the heavens, okay? Take charge and action. That's what I did. I got my keys and got my car and I moved it. So whenever you want to change your frequency, change your vibration, it's up to you to take charge and action to change it or raise your frequency. So let's say there's nobody around, you're just sitting there by yourself, okay? Meditate. Or start writing in your journal of your imagination. If you're to 0 degree and you're by yourself and you want to be interconnected to somebody, imagine somebody coming over and talking to you, or you going outside and meeting somebody new, or going to the grocery store and there you go. Okay, now take charge and action. Look, we just I'm not looking at the cars. Romance and connection. Romance and connection. So how do you get romance and connection? You magnetize it, raise your vibration to meet the energy of the person, place, or thing that you want. Okay, that's what we're doing, where the shadow speaks. So what is it about our shadow when it comes to romance and connection? When we get a trigger about maybe somebody that we know or somebody that we used to know and they're no longer with us, they're with somebody else, does that trigger you when you think about them? Does it trigger you when you hear some good news about them? Okay, if it does, you're still connected. That your energy is still connected to that person. Remember we talked about the cord cutting? We might even see that card. Remember we talked about the cord cutting? Okay, where you go and find what makes you happy instead of sitting in the energy of what makes you sad. Okay, that is how you raise your vibration. But in order to know what it is you need to do to raise your vibration, the triggers show up. Okay, the triggers, what was hidden, demands truth and transformation. Okay, so speaking truth to yourself about that situation is, yes, that makes me mad, but why? Why does it make you mad? Because you still care for that person and you still want that person. Okay, well, what happened that caused a separation? If it wasn't your fault, walk away, baby. Okay, cut that cord. Okay, the truth is, that is not, it's holding you back. Holding you back from moving forward on your pathway to possibly the person that is waiting for you somewhere else. But you over here mad, okay, while they doing like this. Where is she at? Do you see what I mean? Where they at? Truth and transformation. That's what shadow work is, okay? It's not a dark room, Okay, it's a treasure chest. Okay, we have the key by actually with courage going into our subconscious and going, okay, why does that bother me? Okay, instead of staying in the vortex going, they did this and they did blah blah blah. Okay, so why do you care? Why do you care? That is the key to finding out what we need to truthfully transform. Okay, now under romance, look, compassion. Show compassion to yourself first. That truth and transformation is you showing compassion to yourself. Yes, it is. Okay. Now, thank you, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Charity, Archangel Mariel, Archangel Lavender, Archangel Zachiel, Archangel Amethyst. If you would, look, it's part of your sacred plan. So maybe if you were in a situation with somebody and now you're in this vortex of still being mad or the triggers are still coming up, that trigger is part of your sacred plan. Okay, that trigger was part of a karmic lesson. Okay, if you're still affected by the karmic lesson, you haven't cut the cords, you haven't let go what you need to let go of so that you can recalibrate. What was it the twin flames do? What did the twin flames do? They realign their soul path. The twins realign their soul path, or because of this reading right here, people will come to know that your shadow work is you realigning your soul path. You taking charge and action to realign your soul path, okay? Why? Because what's on the other side? Sacred plan. Look, holy love. We're still talking about the twin flames. We might even be talking about, remember, the masculine and feminine, your inner twin, okay? We still need to balance the inner twins. Now, if you're mad and getting triggered about something, your masculine is taking over the compassion you show for yourself with your feminine energy. Okay, release, surrender, allow. Okay, that's what this is all about. This is you cannot make this up. Okay, we have sacred plan. This is at the soul star. That means it's manifesting in the heavens for you. Your sacred plan is already done in the heavens. Remember, it has to manifest there first. It's orchestrated by the all that is, and then when you are ready, when your heart space, okay, is cleansed and cleared of all karmic lessons, karmic contracts, all the things that trigger you, the 3D energies, the jealousy. It might be hate, it might be anger, it might be lack. When your heart no longer carries any of those things, holy love is what you have first and foremost for yourself. That's when you magnetize to you your person. Okay? All right. Now look under that, opportunity and change. Okay? Opportunities and change. Remember all the energies that's coming down from the heavens? Okay? From the cosmic spaces? They're full of opportunities and change. Okay? They're full of them. It is up to us to clear that space so that we can grasp and see and hear and know the opportunities and change that are showing up for us, okay? All right. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. We're going to leave these up so you guys can see them, okay? I command a bigger table. I command a bigger desk. Wait, I command a production studio. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, I just put that there in the universe with laughter. Okay, laughter is the energy that changes your dimension, remember? Okay, it changes your frequency. You're changing the dial on the radio station. We're not listening to the hard stuff. That's sad. Okay, we're going to listen to okay, I'm not even going to say it. Okay, there's a song, but as soon as you start saying it, it stays in your head. It has to do with sea life. There's mommies, there's babies, and their uncles. So I'm not going to say it, but that is one of those songs that will change your dimension because you're no longer thinking about what you were mad about. You now have this song going round and round in your head. Okay, I'm not going to say the name of it. Now, on the earth plane, Archangel Sandalphon, Archangel Metatron, ease and grace. Okay, ease and grace is here, you guys. Look, he is balancing on one foot on his toes while he's pouring water. He's not missing one drop of this water. Ease and grace. This is an angel who is here to bring us ease and grace. Okay, when you follow your passion, follow your joy, what makes you happy, what happens next in your 0 degree is ease and grace. It is the negative, dense energies that stop and block. It's almost like you can't even think when there is an energy that is going around and around in your space that just won't stop. Okay, it could be anger, it could be something you remember from the past, and you're still pulling it up, and it makes you cry or it makes you mad. You can't see anything outside of that because that's a wall. Okay, let that go. Find a way to start transmuting that energy, and every time it shows up, okay, even if it's just a little bit, you know how to transmute it right away. Go, not today, not today. Okay, and then you mentally, in your mental, with your mental spirit, your emotional spirit, your spiritual spirit, sometimes even with your physical spirit, you can go outside and change your dimension. Okay, because we don't need to carry this. The spirit is really trying to get this home for us, because things are changing every moment of every day. Okay, the amount of energy that is coming down from the cosmos is unbelievable. I'm sure you guys feel it, because I do, and everybody's talking about it. Okay, now next to ease and grace, thank you, is harmony and resolution. What we just talking about? Let it go. Okay, wait. You guys remember that song from that movie Frozen? Do you know why that stayed in people's heads? That was actually a spiritual thing that happened. That cartoon was for kids, but parents had to go to that movie. That was a subliminal message. Let it go. Okay? Let it go. Freeze it out. Let it go. It doesn't need to be a part of your who you are right here, right now. I welcome and acknowledge your presence with infinite, unconditional love, harmony, and resolution. Let it go. Okay? Wow. Ease and grace comes when you let it go. Ease and grace comes and harmony and resolution comes. Look, these are the angels. Blessings and abundance. That's what's here. When we pay attention, okay, the journey of the shadow integration, we're going to look at everything. So we see compassion, opportunity and change, blessings and abundance. Okay, that's what's here. Okay, that's what's here, y'all. Okay, we just need to pay attention. Okay, and don't stress yourself over it. If something, it's real easy. If something pisses you off, ask yourself why before you react. Why you mad? Okay, how can you change your dimension? Okay, just like with that gentleman walking around out there by my car. Okay, I got my keys and I changed the dimension not only of me, of my car. That's all there was. All right. Okay, so where we at? All right, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are talking about shadow work, and sometimes our shadow work, it is for things of our past, self-sabotaging beliefs. It could be opinions and that people gave to us that was from their set of eyes. We believed it, okay? Or it also could have been ancestral wounds, okay? Things that we brought with us in this incarnation. Exie, go over there. Hold on, y'all. I got a visitor. He likes to be a good stage manager, moving stuff around, okay? He don't have the stage plot right now. I didn't give it to him. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Thank you, Spirit. This is beautiful, you guys. This is beautiful. Okay, so here's what we're doing. If you would, Archangel Sandalphon, Archangel Metatron, thank you. Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Charity, thank you. Archangel Mariel, Archangel Lavender, Archangel Zachiel, Archangel Amethyst. If you would, please give us, please clarify ease and grace, take charge and action, and sacred plan. Now, you guys, these cards are different. Okay, since we were talking about ancestor wounds, okay, our ancestor, when we clear our karma, we clear the karma of our ancestors. We have their eyes, we have their DNA. Some of us have our hands, we have their feet, we have their hair, we have their attitudes. Some of them have loving dispositions. Some of them still mad, okay? But we carry that in our DNA, okay? Now, we're going to be looking at past life oracle cards. That's what we're using today. So, let's see what happens. Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Charity. Okay, leaving or travel, take charge and action. Okay, this is to move forward. Okay, somebody taking action moves forward, leaving or travel. Thank you, Spirit. I welcome and acknowledge your presence with infinite, unconditional love. This is a suitcase sitting on a train track. Okay, leaving or travel, take charge and action moves us forward on our pathway. Okay, moves us forward on our pathway, and it can also move us forward from our 0 degree where we are right now to our wish fulfillment. Remember, with all of the planetary placements, one of the things that was coming through, okay, was that there was a bridge. Okay, I kept getting the word bridge. Okay, for 2 months, I kept getting the word bridge. Didn't know what it meant. Okay, it was some of the planetary placements that just happened in the last 2 weeks that built a bridge between the journal of our imagination, where we wrote in our journal, we started at our 0 degree and said, Spirit, this is what I want. Okay, this is where I want to be with you. Okay, we wrote that down in our journal of our imagination, and we pictured all the things that we wanted. Right, we wanted to travel, we wanted to go see the world, we wanted to go see the tour in England, we wanted to go see Ireland, we wanted to just go see the pyramids, we wanted to go see stuff, just travel, right? Okay, now the bridge connects that journal in your imagination to reality, to our reality here on the earth plane. Okay, that's what that bridge was for. There was a ribbon cutting, okay, with all of the things that have happened in the last 2 weeks. Okay, if not, it started February 20th. Okay, now I don't carry all that stuff in my head because I can't. Okay, so that's why you see me writing everything down. Sometimes I remember it, but usually when I'm doing a reading, all that space is open to get the words from the angels. Okay, now leaving a travel. Now under romance and connection, what we got? Spouse. Y'all can't tell me the angels are not here. Look, it says spouse. I'm not looking at the cards. I'm looking over there. I'm not looking at the cards. It says spouse. Okay, so in the past, there was take charge in action, and there was a marriage, there was a wedding, and it may have been a twin flame situation, a twin flame relationship orchestrated by the All That Is. The All That is the one that orchestrates twin flame relationships. Okay, it's up to the beings to do the things that they need to do once they separate to find each other again. There's divine timing, there's divine alignment. They give each other karmic lessons, okay, while they're here or there. Okay, and why certain things don't work out is because it was a part of the sacred plan as a karmic lesson. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, now under that, leaving or travel or spouse, look, vows. Spirit, thank you. They always come through. And when I was looking at the cards, I was sitting there thinking, and I said, which cards do you want? They said, it's about the shadow. We're going to go not just back here, what happened in this lifetime. We're going to go back to the ancestors, our cosmic ancestors. We have earthly ancestors. We carry all of their virtues and characteristics. Okay? Now, this is interesting. Vows. It's right there. Oh, wow, Spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Charity. This is at the heart space. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Now, at the Soul Star Chakra, Mariel, Archangel Mariel, Archangel Lavender, Archangel Zachiel, Archangel Amethyst. Okay, what we have is Mother, Sacred Plan. Okay, remember, we have Most High Adonai Barbello. Okay, Most High is masculine and feminine. The masculine is Adonai, the feminine is Barbello. Okay, now it says that she's mother is of creation. Okay, and we're putting right here by the sacred plan is clarifying the sacred plan. Now, holy love under that is imprisonment or slavery. Okay, now look at what happened to the divine feminines under patriarch rule. Okay, women, Mary Magdalene was called a prostitute, and she was Jesus's wife. Okay, she is Master Mary now. She is an ascended master. Okay, Jesus is ascended master. Christ is Jesus Christ, and Christ Jesus, Master Yeshua, Master Sananda Christos. Look at all of those things the ascension of that. For me, I believe it's a collective. Jesus was a collective of higher beings. Okay. Now, imprisonment or slavery. We're talking about mother, the divine feminine. What happened? Okay. The divine feminine has been marginalized. Think about how women are treated. Okay. Even right now, they want to start tracking pregnancies and actually start having women tell whoever when their menstrual cycle is. Are you serious? That's a blessed thing. Okay, women are connected to all of the cycles of the moon. Okay, they are connected to creation. They are connected to timelines. Okay, so imprisonment or slavery in this holy love. Okay, what I'm getting is what happened to the divine feminine under patriarch rule. Okay, and it started a while ago. Okay, and look under that. Father, yeah, too many angels in our ear. Okay, so men started saying things about women. Why? Because they had too much control. They were the creators. Okay, a woman can carry an entire person. Sometimes I saw a lady had 9 babies all at one time. One woman had 9 kids at one time. Okay. There are women that have multiple children over a span of time, okay? But they have been chosen to become the portals to bring through the spirit beings from the heavenly realms to the earthly realm, okay? What does that say about them? Okay, what does that say about them? Okay, so under imprisonment and slavery, we have Father. We just talked about patriarch rule, okay? So this is what happened in the heavens. Okay, it's getting ready to change, or it was part of the sacred plan. Remember, we talked about the karmic lessons, okay? For divine feminines, the patriarch masculine overreach, overbearing, overwhelming was throughout history sacred karmic lesson. Okay, wow, spirit. Okay. Now, at the earth plane, thank you, Archangel Mariel, Archangel Lavender, Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Amethyst. Thank you so much. Archangel Sandalphon, Archangel Metatron. What we have is ease and grace. We have phobias. Okay. You know how some people can't go outside? Some people can't. Why did I say go outside? Some people can't go outside. They have, I think it's called agoraphobia. There's a phobia about being outside. They have to stay in their house. Okay, that's a phobia. They're afraid of whatever is outside of their front door. They feel safe in their house. There are people that are afraid of spiders. There are people that are afraid of water. They're afraid to go in water. Okay, they're afraid to, some people can't go in the forest. Okay, some people can't drive over a bridge. Those are phobias. Why do people have phobias when there's no apparent reason why they should? It's part of the ancestral DNA that they carry that fear, okay? In a prior life, before they incarnate here, somebody may have drowned, okay? Somebody may have starved to death. Somebody may have been afraid to go outside because we have imprisonment or slavery. If somebody was a slave, okay, they were in prison or they were on a plantation. If they went outside and they didn't do certain things, they always had to hold their head down, look down. They were not allowed to look other people, we know which other people, in the face, okay? And there's people today that I met, okay, that will not look up. If they're walking down the street, they will not look up. They look at the ground, okay? They will not look at other people, okay? I saw this for myself. And I remember I had my car at the time. It was a big, beautiful Lincoln Navigator. Beautiful on 22 with chrome wheels and Eddie Bauer packages. A beautiful car. I was back east with my daughters. And we were waiting for, we pulled up in the grocery store. And we were going into the grocery store. And I had on, I worked for a surgical center. And I had on, they let me wear the white doctor's jacket. It was to identify me to other people on the campus that where I work. Because it says where I worked. It was a big, big, big place. And we pulled in to a grocery store. We pulled up, we waited for a car to come out, and as the car came out, we pulled in and parked the car. No big deal, right? A person, okay, a different kind of person, walked up to me and cussed me out. I said, what is the problem? Now remember, I'm from LA. Okay, he cussed me out. Up one side, down the other side, and I said, you real comfortable with that? He goes, what do you mean? I said, what is the problem? He goes, you took my spot. And I go, what do you mean? I've been sitting here for a minute waiting for the lady to put her groceries in her cart. I don't understand. He goes, you saw me. I said, no, I didn't. He goes, well, either way, you need to move your car, and you need to move it now. I said, you must be out of your mind. Okay, y'all hear? Do you hear me going back to the old Sherry? It's in the tone. Okay, and I said, my daughters were scared. And they were teenagers then. And they knew me from the event production days when nobody talked to the lady with the clipboard like that. There's nobody. You getting escorted off with security. You need to leave. Okay, so he's talking to me, goes, you need to move your car so that I can have this space, and you're going to move it right now. I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to leave my car. We're going into the grocery store, and you can go have a happy day, right? People like me, if you hear me, you know what I'm saying, were afraid, and they said, ma'am, you need to move your car. I said, why? Because it's just, what you're doing is just not done here. I said, you need to get out of my face and go find a heart. You need to go find a spine, because I'm not doing that. We went in the store. He probably never had anybody like me talk to him like that before. But I did. We went in the store, got what we needed, came on out. There was nothing wrong with my car. I didn't see the police or anything like that. But this was before the attitude that's out there now. Okay, sometimes you need to stand in your power, but that me coming from a whole nother region, okay, where we didn't undergo that, okay, now I lived on military bases, okay, never had no problem with that at all. Look, come from California, no problem with that. Go back east, guess what? They still look at the ground today and will not look up. They are institutionalized, and they're not even in an institution. The institution is racism. Okay, that's how they're institutionalized, and it's all over the world. And if you stay there for a certain amount of time, you're going to start doing what you're told. Sorry, I'm the one that gives the orders. I'm the sheriff. Okay. Anyway, let's go woosah. Okay, now we're gonna let that go. Okay, under phobias, look, food and hunger. Look, food and hunger. Somebody, we just talking about the grocery store. What happened? Okay, why did people undergo what they underwent? That is what's causing the shadow. Okay, some of these shadows that happened way during the times of our galactic and cosmic and earthly ancestors, we still carry. We need to go super deep in order to find out, why do we handle money a certain way? Why do we handle people a certain way? Hurt people, okay? We don't know why sometimes people project certain things like that man. Why did he project that at me? Okay, to make me, why did he think it was okay? He saw my car, he saw the coat I had on, okay? He still thought it was okay because all he saw was what I looked like to him. And he expected me to bow to him, okay? That is a mindset that operates on the mindset of those that bend, okay? He just ran into one that didn't live that way, okay? He just ran into it. Now, under that is communal living. Look, communal living, okay? And it may be that, remember the Anasazi? The Egyptians lived a certain way, okay? There was ranks. They had the people that were the artists, the builders, the slaves. They all lived a certain way in their own community. Communal living is their type of community, and it may be based on the castes that they were born into, like in India, okay? I think it's like 4 or 5 different castes, and one's an educator, one's a teacher, one's a healer, one's a laborer, and things like that. So these are all ancestral situations, okay? all ancestral situations that happen. With the leaving on the travel, okay, that may have been somebody that was in a romantic connection or in a wedding or in a marriage, and that spouse left for whatever reason. At any, what we're looking here is the sacred plan, okay? Sacred plan that we came up with, okay, had karmic lessons in there. Why? Why did it have karmic lessons? Because the karmic lessons are lessons, experiences, and challenges for us to learn, grow, and evolve from. But learning, growing, and evolving takes us to look at something hard, whatever that hidden truth is, and transform it into that learning, growing, and evolving. Okay? So the first stage of our journey of shadow integration, there's 5. Okay, 1 is recognition. We talked about the triggers. They're mirrors. They're signals from within. Okay? The second is acceptance. Okay? The inner war. The masculine and the feminine is having an inner war. Okay? Like when we talked about the masculine getting mad, or our masculine energy stays mad, where the compassion part of us, we can't see it because we're mad. Okay? Wow, Spirit, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I'm so grateful to you, Spirit. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's do this. Where we at? Oh, my goodness. Do we have to do part 1 and a part 2? Yes, we're going to do part 1 and part 2. Okay, so let's explain this, okay, because this is a series. Okay, before we do the tarot part of this, we did the acceptance. Now, recognition is triggers or mirrors. There's signals from within. Acceptance. Okay, once we figure out why something is triggering us, okay, we see here several possibilities. Okay, we accept. Once we identify it, we accept it as something that is a part of us. Once we thank you, I welcome and acknowledge your presence with infinite unconditional love. So once we accept it, okay, there is no more war. The inner war that's going on between the masculine energy and the feminine energy, meaning we are taking action, but we're taking action with compassion. We're doing it from a heart space. We're not taking action with ugly words. Like I saw a man, he went into the like a postal store. It wasn't the post office. It was like UPS or something like that. He went in the store and he zeroed in on this one guy because somebody went in there and said this one guy was bothering or not sending his packages. Maybe he didn't have the right posters. I don't know. But he was supposed to be a businessman. He said he was a businessman. He walked into this store and he's yelling. Okay, and there's customers in the store. And he said, I told you, and you can see him working his neck and working his finger. He goes, I have 3 people from my business come here and tell me that you are a problem, that you're having a problem, that they're having a problem with you specifically. The manager of the store goes, sir, don't do that here. Oh, I can do what I want to do. Oh, don't let one more person. Well, you already had 3. Okay, you Billy Badass, I'm sorry. What you gonna do next time? Okay, you just want to come here, flex your wings, talk loud, and think other people are gonna be afraid of you because you are talking loud. That means absolutely nothing. It means that you are a bully, and the only thing that you have going for you is a loud mouth. Okay, because the other kid that was behind the counter was talking back to him and telling him, look, I don't know what you're talking about. The package needed this, the package needed that. Well, if you can't get it right 3 times, then you need to talk to your staff. Okay, instead of embarrassing yourself and everybody else by going in there and trying to bully somebody that was trying to help you get it right. Okay, now I'm sorry, that was righteous indignation. I just went there and I'm tired of it. And I think because we've been seeing so much of the bullying going on, where you get all these little tiny countries and you go in and you say, well, I got the biggest army and the biggest military and we're the strongest in the world and has ever been. Okay, so you go pick on all of the little people, all the little countries, Greenland, Panama, Venezuela, Nigeria, Somalia, okay, Mali. You just go pick on all the little countries. Now you picked on Iran. Little is part of, it's not, it's little, but they was quiet. It's them quiet ones you gotta watch out for. They didn't say nothing while you was out there flexing, thinking you all that, okay? Then 3 days in, you want to surrender in a ceasefire, and they said nope. You just opened the door for us to take over the Strait of Hormuz. Thank you. Thank you so much for giving us. We are not bombing, cut clear release. We are sending situations to all of the other countries that surround us that have been bullying us because they're helping you. And we're sending some of those situations 4,000 miles away. You didn't know we had that capability. So now you're scared, calling everybody else in to help you. But remember, you Billy with the biggest. Okay? So you back yourself into a corner like that man did at that UPS with his mouth. Okay? Vortex of energy that needs to be released. I hope that gentleman sees that YouTube short showing his behavior and that he can see firsthand how he looks to other people, because we see it in the macrocosm. That's what's happening, okay? And in our individual lives, that's where the shadow work comes in. There may be a situation that comes up and you are mad, you are upset, okay? And and you get into that vortex and you build that wall around you and you're just going around and around and around. Okay, it is where we have our alchemical powers to transmute by understanding, by seeing it, and truth, by accepting that as a part of who we are and saying why. Okay, that's the inner war. When we stop the inner war and acknowledge what exists that is our truth, that is us going towards self-sovereignty. This is where we master our inner being. Okay, all the things we've been saying for the last year, and everybody else that showed me. Okay, the Hierophant, to master ourselves. That's where the shadow work comes from. Okay, the shadow work encompasses corporations, organizations, traditional structures, marriage, higher education, higher learning, the world, how we treat one another. The man with the parking space. Just because I was in a different region, okay, he probably had never come across somebody like me. Anybody else, he was too comfortable saying it. Anybody else probably would have gotten in their car and moved their car for him to take over that space. Okay? He just happened to come up upon a person where he met his match. And that's what is going to happen to the man in the UPS store. And in the greater cosmos and in the world at the macrocosm, somebody is going to meet their match. They're going to be embarrassed. They're going to have to back down. They're going to be forced to stop. And that was one of the things. The universe, there's no negotiating. Right here, right now, in this window, the universe brings an end to any and all that does not serve the higher good of all. There's no negotiation. It's coming to an end. That's where the towers come in. Think about all of those things with towers. Okay? So, you guys, we're going to leave that here. This is part 1 of The Shadow Speaks. What was hidden demands truth and transformation. Okay, so we got the overall essence of the story, and we're going to be using our cards when we come back. So let's stop this right now. I will see y'all in a little bit. All right, thank you so much.